Another day, another heresy. Today we will paint another Adeptus Custodian model. This one is one of the Psychotorm Guard, and in this paint scheme, we're going to choose something very different. Instead of the golden auric armor, we will choose white armor as such. The difference between our auric white armor will be that we will not be using red shoulder pads. Our armor will have pristine white shoulder pads with golden trim. When it comes to the leatherwork, we will use a contrast paint. When it comes to the white armor, we will be using two main paints, Screaming Skull and Corax White. This will give us our slightly tanner color for the white, and then the layer will act as the finalized color of the paint. To start us off, we will base coat the entire model in the Screaming Skull paint. The only part of the model that will be exempt from this will be the bolt gun. The bolt gun, we will paint it an Abaddon black with gold trim from the Auric Armor Gold, along with the filigree on the gun. Filigree? I don't know which one it is really. In this video, I do apologize if I sound a bit more congested than usual. I'm currently getting over a cold. The cold includes a runny nose and a ever so slightly sore throat that I've been curing with chamomile tea and honey. It is amazing. I hate being sick so fucking much. When it comes to painting the first layers of Screaming Skull, it should only take 2 coats. And make sure they're generous coats. If not, it'll probably take 3 or 4, 6 or 7. Now from here on, we're going to do a time skip, that way we can finish painting the base coat of the model. In 3, 2, 1. Now that we have finished the base coat of the model, we can start work with our next paint. The next paint being Corax White. Rather than being White Scar, a very pure white, we choose Corax White as it is considered an off-white. While White Scar is more or less just white, Corax White is more of an eggshell white. The difference is subtle, but it is drastic when you use the two together. As you can see, this one that we're using right now, Corax White, leaves shadows with the Screaming Skull, giving us the proper highlights that we need for as we do the dry brushing / basing. Already, the white on this model is coming together very nicely, even on the bolt gun where it's not supposed to. Now that we have finished doing the whiting of the model with our Corax White, we can move on to the next and most crucial part of the entirety of the model, Auric Armor Gold layer paint. Instead of this being a very dark gold, this one is very, very thin. This will take you at least 2 to 3 coats per brushing of the gold. But it leaves us with something very fine and very fanciful. Now, as we're doing another time skip, the areas that we have painted is the helmet, the shoulder pads, the chest lightning, and in fact, the leg aquillas, along with the very back aquila that is around the collar. We are now taking our Abaddon black and we are going to base coat the bolter to where it's in its proper colors again. This part doesn't really matter as we are just painting a bolter black. Later on we'll come back with our black and paint the undersuit of this Adeptus Custodian model. But for now, as this is not as important, we can skip over this. Now that we have skipped over this, we can continue with our model as we were. More Auric Armor Gold. The Auric Armor Gold in this case will be used on the helmet and the gun. Mainly the top of the helmet, as we missed it earlier. There is a cross that covers the entirety of the top helmet, along with tiny filigree on the helmet as well. Now that we have done that, we can come in with our Gilliman Flesh Tone Contrast Paint. There are 3 areas we will paint this, and that is the 2 gloves, or man bracers I guess, the belt, and okay, I may be light. There's also tiny leather straps on the boots. We're also going to paint that with this. This will give our gloves nice shadows, make them shiny, which isn't realistic for leather, but whatever. By doing this, I already said that actually, wow. There's not much I can really say about doing the leather. In our next video, we're going to do as a subscriber commented, and we are going to be painting my nails. My nails will have Space Marine-esque designs, and one will just be the Warhammer logo hammer. Now we are going to take our Ethereum blue. I don't care that it's Ethereum-atic, I'm just calling it Ethereum. We're going to take our Ethereum blue and simply paint the eyeballs and paint the gems on the armor. For the shoulder pad and chest that I chose, that will be 5 gems in total. 1 on each elbow, 1 on each shoulder pad, and then the 1 dotted directly into the chest. After that we can finish up the gun detailing by adding on the Auric Armor Gold, the Lead Belcher, and yeah. After that, we'll add the tiny gold Aquillas onto the actual gauntlets. Now, to start us off with fixing up our bolt gun, we're going to take our Auric Armor Gold and paint the back Aquila. I say Aquila, but it's actually just 2 wings that are placed dead center on the back. For this, it'll take about 3 coats of paint. If you feel 1 or 2 is good enough, then be it as you will, but I prefer to do it with 3 coats. While we have a second to continue, I would recommend using the Auric Armor Gold on your brush to brush up on the other pieces of gold. The shin plates, the shoulder pad, and even the helmet. As you can see, 2 coats has already done a fine job of making it golden. So, if you would like to use the time to brush up the other stuff, I would recommend it. Anywhere that seems like it's a bit more white than gold, due to the base coating. Ignore the fact that we just dropped the model. It's a common occurrence on this channel, and we will not apologize for it. Now we're over with the gold, we can start up with the actual metallics. The Lead Belcher. As always, we are going to Lead Belcher the casing of the gun. We're going to Lead Belcher the magazine ejection port, the barrel, and the sights on top of the gun. Wait, that's not magazine ejection, that's... Shoot, what's it called? Case ejection? I always get the 2 mixed up. It's the one on the top that ejects the... Okay, yeah, it's case ejection, I just realized that. It ejects the cases of the bullets, okay. Yeah, I feel dumb, don't worry. I know you're saying it through the screen. Now, this part I would consider semi-important. Right here, we're just going to brush right between the gold in the back and all the way to the front. We want to be able to get the iron sights and also get the sides of the railing on the top. That way it's visually nice to look at. As we continue, we're going to make sure that we've gotten the barrel completely. As you saw, we missed a little bit. Also, of course, the inside stuff, which does include the sights again and the railing. We're also going to do a light brushing over what I believe from a friend told me is essentially a combi laser part of the gun. I don't know, I'll look more into it later so that I can do a more in-depth guide for when we do a Shadow Keeper. Reference image up in 3, 2, 1. As you can see from the image, rather than taking on a golden or even a pure white armor, they take on a black suit of armor. This is because they are essentially the jailers for eldritch horrors hidden beneath the Imperial Palace upon Holy Terra. What they guard is horrifying. It is rumored that they actually have Cthulhu himself in there. It's rumored that they have 2 Primarchs in there, among various other demons. 4 demons that we know of that are in there are minor warp demons that the Adeptus Custodes are subjected to for trials. Now for the wreath on the shoulder pad, we're going to base it in Granite Steel, as always, a beautiful color. And we're going to run over with the contrast paint Striking Scorpion Green later. We are also going to color the back tech stuff on there, on the back of the Custodian. Thus has his nuclear power plant that he has fitted inside of his armor. That includes the exhaust ports, the minor cables, and the weird dots that dimple into his back. Well, yes, the dimples are supposed to be lower so that you can grab him by the hips. It is not, and I apologize. I was advised that I am not allowed to make those jokes upon this channel. Regardless, now we are painting his pointy little hat thingy-ding. Aside from that, we shouldn't need the metallics for anywhere else in the model, I believe. Now, as mentioned before, we are going to take our Striking Scorpion Green contrast paint and just paint over the granite steel. It makes the reef very bright and very vibrant. If you would like to do it a different recipe, I would recommend taking Dark Angel's Green or Eldari Emerald as the base of the green, and then paint a little bit more granite steel on the edge of the wreath, and right there you put the Striking Scorpion Green. That way it's dark on the inside and bright on the outside. And with that, we're going to touch up the last little bits of the model. In this case, as I keep blanking on it, or blanking on it because, well, you know, I was sick during the recording and the painting, we're going to paint the Aquillas on the gauntlet. Fun fact about the Adeptus Custodes, they are not too fond, but are fond of the golden gilded armor that they wear. It is said that if needed, they would just charge headlong into battle, wearing plain Oromite armor. And by plain, I mean just like matte gray armor. No special decorations or anything. That was purely the Emperor's choice. Now that all that's done, we're going to take a technical paint, Astrogranite Turf. And we are literally just going to glob it on to the entirety of the model. Well, the base of the model. The way I like to think about it is, what terrain is the model on? In this case, he is in an urban environment. Thus, slight stones have erupted from him stepping, sorry. Still sick, I'm sorry. But slight tiny stones have lifted up from the ground as he takes his steps around. The Adeptus Custodes weigh around... A Space Marine is 2,000 pounds of just ceramite and muscle. I think he'd be like 2,100? 500? Around a ton, essentially. A literal ton. Now, as we have reached near the end of the video, I'd like to thank all the subscribers. I'd like to thank all the people who comment, and everyone who likes. Thank to my girlfriend, her mother, her brother, Valerie, Phoenix, Virgil, and everyone else. Here's the final spin of the model, and that's it.
Why do I have to stay here on the ground? It's overrated. The cityscape escapes you with a sound. It's delineated away.